I would take out the big chunks that didn't really scrape in there. And we're just going to take 2 cups of this cauliflower, 2 cups in a bowl. That's it. Obviously, I made too much here. Okay, 2 cups unless you want 2 pizzas. Okay. Then we're going to just take this organic shredded mozzarella cheese. You can get fresh mozzarella. You could even use mozzarella goat cheese if you want. But it just so happens that I already know that this makes 2 cups. I'll just show you right here. So we got 1 cup right here. Okay. And then 2 cups. See that? All right. Then we just simply take 2 eggs. Really simple. Yeah, that's going to work, isn't it? Okay. There we go. All right. You can tell that I'm not a cook. All right. But it seems to work. Now, look at this. I have 2 eggs, 2 cups of mozzarella cheese, and 2 cups of cauliflower, and we're just going to mix this around. It's kind of weird because it just doesn't seem to look like it's going to make a crust, but it's going to. You'll see. Now, don't put salt in it because the mozzarella cheese is already salty enough, and I do see some bigger little chunks here. I'll take this out because I don't want that chunk in there. All right, we're just going to mix it up like that. That's what it looks like. Now, check this out. I'm going to just show you something. This is what the crust looks like when we cook it. Look at this. It's crispy. It's somewhat hard. That's what it's going to turn into. So it melts and it browns, and you're going to cook it for 15 minutes. So the hardest part about this whole thing is making it on the parchment paper. Okay? So let's talk about how we're going to put this in here. Get these little cheap little pizza tins right here, and then we're going to take parchment paper. If you don't use parchment paper, it's going to be a little hard to get it off there unless you put a lot of olive oil underneath it. So the hardest part is cutting the parchment paper to this pan here. So I'm going to just attempt to do it right here, kind of work with it a little bit. I'm sure there's a technique to it. I don't know. So it didn't quite fit here, so I have to trim it up. Now, because this pizza has mozzarella cheese, it's somewhat oily, so you don't have to put any oil on this pan. So I'm going to just show you right here. I'm going to take this thing right here, and we are going to put it right in the center. Now, just so you know, I did wash my hands, so don't worry about that. Does Dr. Berg wash his hands? Yes, he does. Okay, so now I'm going to just take this thing right here, and I'm going to kind of even it up here. All right. Then I'm going to use my washed hands and start to press and flatten. So the secret number 1 is to have the parchment paper. Secret number 2 is to make it really thin. Okay. Now, there are some things I tried, like taking some of the moisture out because it's a little moist in a microwave or even in the oven. It's not necessary. It's really not. So you can see that I have some more space over here, so I'm going to just start from the center and just kind of slowly kind of push it towards the edge here and flatten this thing right here. Okay. Now, I already preheated the oven to 450 degrees, so that's all ready for us. So, okay. Now, this is what it looks like. Very simple. I'm stick in the oven for 15 minutes, okay? And then it's going to come out like this right here. So let's go ahead and stick in the oven, and I'll show you the next step. Okay, so we got the crust cooked at 15 minutes at 150 degrees. Now we're going to put the sauce on it. Now, take a look. You can use actual pizza sauce, or you can use pasta sauce, spaghetti sauce. So you just want to make sure that it doesn't have that sugar or high fructose corn syrup. This one's really, really good. This has no sugars. It's a bit expensive, but this would be fine too. This has no added sugars as well. So, yeah, it's not too bad. Try to find something with very low sugar, and we're just going to take this, and we're going to put a little tomato sauce right on the center there. I did make the mistake of putting too much sauce, so it really depends on your taste. So start off putting just a little bit of sauce on it, and then see if it works. So I'm going to probably put a little bit more sauce right here and here, roughly a quarter cup. So we're just going to put the sauce right around. Now we're going to put some more mozzarella cheese on the top. So I'm just going to take some cheese, sprinkle it. Not too much, just enough. Okay, so we got the cheese on there. Now we're going to put some mushrooms. All right, I love mushrooms. I'm just going to cut these little bad boys right here.